Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to use advanced custom fields to set up your own slider on your front page of your website. So right now we're looking at a really crappy looking website that I've created, which is a basic WordPress theme from scratch, which you can also see in one of my other videos. And what I'm going to do is set up a slider here. We're going to use a jQuery plugin called FlexSlider. And then we're going to use advanced custom fields so that when you want to update that slideshow, you can easily go into the front page and add and remove slides here. So that's where Advanced Custom Fields comes in. It's an extremely powerful plugin, which in my opinion is probably the best plugin available for WordPress. And I'm using Advanced Custom Fields Pro 5.7.7, which from the 7th of November 2018 is the latest version. We are also using the latest version of WordPress, which I can't tell you what it is, but I believe it is, well, I know it's right now 4.9.8. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we want to do is we want to create the back-end functionality to be able to add and edit slides. So let's do this. We'll just do, we'll create a new field group and we'll call it slideshow. We'll assign it to the front page. So I think it's page type, front page. And then we'll add some fields. So with this, what we're going to do is we're going to use a repeater field. And we'll just call it slides. And we'll add the specific fields we're going to need that will repeat. So let's just go image. So image will be what each slide will have. And we can also put, let's just add a text field, which is a title. Okay. So we have an image field, which is an image. And we have a title field, which is a text field. And then we'll also change this to add slide. So that this is just for the UI of the backend. So when you click the button, it says add slide instead of add row. And let's publish that now. So now we have the slides repeater set up. If we go into pages and go to our front page, we should now see slides here. So basically how it will work is you can click on add slide, add image. You could choose an image. And you could also then add another slide and choose another image, and you can put a title for both. Okay, so that's how it works right now. So I've just added 2 slides to the front page, and I have also added some titles for those images, which will probably just be the alt tags for those images. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to use this data and then display it on the front end. What we're going to do is we're going to use FlexSlider. So if we Google FlexSlider and look at FlexSlider 2, it takes you to a demonstration of FlexSlider, and you'll see download FlexSlider here. So we're going to download FlexSlider, and then we're going to set it up in our theme. Once FlexSlider is installed, just open it up in your Zip or WinRAR or whatever the program is you use, and we want to just get some files out of this file. So we want to. What the best thing to do would probably be just drag the whole FlexSlider into your project folder. Okay, and then go into there and we'll just see what we need. So we definitely need the FlexSlider.min.css, and we also need FlexSlider min.js. So let's copy this and copy this. So copy FlexSlider.css into your CSS folder, and copy FlexSlider.min.js into your JS folder. And also we're going to need to use the fonts. The fonts are the arrows and stuff that come with FlexSlider, so the previous and next arrows and all that sort of stuff. So let's take that out, and we will just paste that into the main directory. And let's delete the FlexSlider page now, folder, sorry. And it's not working because I have Sublime Text open, which it doesn't like for some reason. Okay, so now we have CSS, JS, and fonts. Okay, let's now enqueue FlexSlider into our WordPress theme. To enqueue FlexSlider into our WordPress theme, we just go into functions.php, and it's probably better if you look at my previous WordPress theme from scratch tutorial to see what I've done. Otherwise, you can just copy this and and do it yourself in your own theme. So we want to enqueue the styles. So let's just go and copy the Bootstrap one, change it to FlexSlider, and then also point it to our CSS file. So let's go CSS FlexSlider.css. And then we'll enqueue the script. So let's just grab that and let's change that to FlexSlider. And that file is called jQuery-flex.flexslider-min.js. So I'll just paste that there. If we go to our project now and we look at the source, we should see the FlexSlider CSS, and also in the footer we should see flexslider.min.js, which is good. Okay, so now we have FlexSlider enqueued into our theme. We should be able to run it quite easily. So if we look at basic slider examples on the FlexSlider page, you should see that we have this specific jQuery that we can paste into our theme. So let's go into our JS, our custom.js file, and just paste that in. I'll remove that. And it's currently got .FlexSlider as a class. So if we then go back to the FlexSlider site and copy this content, we're going to paste that into our front page.php. And then we're going to refresh it. Nothing comes up right now because there are no images. Actually, these images don't exist. If we go to inspect the actual page and go to our console, you'll see that it's not loading any of these specific images. So now we need to get the images from our advanced custom fields into our FlexSlider. So if we go to ACF website and type in ACF repeater, this will actually give us some basic markup which we can use to then use our repeater. If we scroll down, we should see the advanced loop, which I'm just going to copy and paste into my theme. I'll just paste that on top, and let's remove some stuff. So, well, firstly, our repeater field name is called, let's just go into our custom fields, and our repeater is called slides, okay? So let's make the repeater field called slides, and also make this slides as well. And then we want to just take out some of this stuff, which is the stuff that comes in the example from advanced custom fields. And this is basically the loop. So this is grabbing each slide, and then it's doing a loop through each slide, and then we can basically show each image within the loop. So right now in the ACF repeater that we have two options. We have image and we have title. So let's assign some variables. We'll call one image. So image get sub field equals image, and title equals get sub field title. So if I now, within the loop, do a PHP echo title, that should automatically come up with the titles that we typed. So as you can see, we have two titles. They're both called test. Doesn't look good, but that's definitely working. And then we obviously want to do image source equals PHP echo image. And we'll save that. Now this isn't going to work because the problem is that with, well, not a problem, but Advanced Custom Fields sends the image as an array. So it has maybe the description of the image, it has the sizes of the image and all that sort of stuff. We just want the URL to that image. And we might want the slides to show at a different size. So to do that, let's go to our functions.php and add a new image size. And we'll call it slider. And we'll make it 1200 by 700. And we'll make it true, cropped equals true, which means that it's going to crop the image when you upload it. Okay, so let's do image URL equals image sizes, and then we want to make it this, it's going to grab the image at that specific size, and then change this to image URL. Now let's add some more images, or remove the current images that we have on the slider and change them to new images. So I'm just going to go on Google Images right now and search for some large images of cats. Alright, so we've got this cute cat here. We'll just visit this page and download the full res version of the image. Save that image. It's actually a small image, so that's not what we want. Okay, this is a massive image. Cool. Alright, so we'll grab this image, and we will grab this one, and we will also grab this one. Cool. So we've got 3 cat images here. What you can do really easily with ACF, which is really cool with the repeater, is just click Add Slide, and then you can add your 3 images into the gallery, and you'll notice they'll all be ticked, and you can click on Select, and they all add as separate rows. And we'll do test 1, test 2, test 3. Now, because these images have uploaded after I created that new slider size, it's going to actually crop them to that size as well. So now if we go to our front page, you should see the 3 images come up at the specific size of the crop that we chose, and also with their captions. Now what we want to do is integrate the FlexSlider code with our ACF repeater and make the slides come up as FlexSlide slides. So to do that, we just have to grab the FlexSlider div and closing div and put them within the if statement so that it will only show if there are slides. And then we want to then put the UL class, or the unordered list, on top of that. And then we want to put the LI with the images. Now we can get out of that FlexSlider completely. If we refresh it, we should see test 1, test 2, test 3, but nothing else is coming up. So to get to the bottom of that, we need to look at our console, which doesn't seem to be helping us at all. So I'm just going to spend a bit of time to troubleshoot, and I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, so the first thing I've done wrong is actually had the title within out of the LI tags. So I'm just going to remove that, and I'm going to put it as an alt tag on the image. And if we refresh, you'll notice that it still doesn't work. And that's because I'm using the latest jQuery, which is 3.3.1, I believe. And if we go into console, you'll see uncaught type error, index of is not a function. And that is because we're using maybe an old jQuery code which doesn't work with the latest version. So if we go to our scripts.js, we need to change window.load to window.onLoad and then comma function. And if we refresh that now, you'll notice that the slides come up. We have the first slide with one of the cats, then the second one, and the third one. Now, let's just pretty it up slightly to make it fit within the container. So if we go to our front page again, let's grab this and put it within our container. Cool. And that's the slider working with ACF. So I could easily just go now into my pages, go to our front page, change the order of the cats. So now it's this darker photo, and refresh it. The first slide that comes up will be that darker photo. I can obviously add new photos. So let's just add this photo. We'll just do add slide, add image, upload the image, and select it, and then update it. And then there should be 4 slides. So that's it. That's how you use advanced custom fields with FlexSlider. If you have any questions, please put it below in the comments and I'll be happy to help you. Thanks and have a lovely day.